Yeah, hi. I have a problem reconciling arriving at truth, at peace, detachment from outcome where nothing matters, with seriousness towards mastery or goal or motivation. To me, those things look contradictory, as if you have to trade in some of the peace to have the desire and the seriousness.
Well, everything is going to look contradictory to you because you understand it only on a superficial and intellectual level. Therefore, everything will look That's why intellectuals can never know truth.
Hi, Kapil. I once heard you, and I don't want to, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I once heard you say that when you make a change, you always change back, so it's not permanent. I'm just wondering why that is. What makes a change permanent?
Well, because that's basically the foundation of self-help, self-development, because everything's based upon cosmetics. So if the root of something is not affected, then a thing will change back. Just because you bend it doesn't mean it won't bend back. So everything is done by force. Everything is done by cosmetic behavioral changes. Say this, don't say that. Change your tone, change this. And therefore, because the root of the matter is never even sniffed, then the change back is inevitable. And that's why self-help, self-development, spirituality, that entire industry is completely baseless. It has no foundation. It should have already crumbled. And the only reason it hasn't is because people are looking for cosmesis and they don't know anything other than prescriptions.
May I ask a following question?
Hey, am I on now? Well, I'll assume I am because I see that I'm speaking. But so the last guy, what you said it was only cosmetic, not at the root. Could you give an example of how something would be at the root? If someone did do something at the root, what it would be, the change?
Well, what don't you understand about it being cosmetic?
No, that I do understand, but I wonder if there's an example of something being changed at the root.
Well, it's the true essence of things, the true cause of something. No one knows the cause of anything because they don't spend years investigating. Everyone's basically just a cosmetic peddler. Everyone peddles every industry from medicine, engineering.
But so I'm saying, finance. But are there ever times when it's not that?
No, it's not.
Okay, so
it's never not that. The only way it is not that is if it comes from a place of truth, which doesn't exist in the world.
Okay, so you're saying it doesn't exist. So are you saying that's impossible or just doesn't happen?
No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's impossible. I do it all the time.
You do what all the time?
But I don't know what you don't understand.
I don't know what you do all the time.
Are you new here?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's nothing that I can say to you that will satisfactorily explain to you what it is that I do. I don't even know what so maybe you'll get a better understanding of what it is and if it actually resonates with you or not.
Well, you were saying I do it all the time in response to, I forget exactly what I said. I said, I said it's impossible.
Well, it's about arriving at the truth about it.
Okay, so you feel that you arrive at the truth at all?
I don't feel anything. I just do.
Okay, so you do arrive at the truth. Does that mean that you have done changes that are permanent?
Sure, of course.
Okay, can you give an example of that? That's what I'm asking.
No, I can't give you an example of that. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you won't understand it.
Okay.
And then if I say, hang on, stop.
That's
stop.
the big
you
assumption.
Asked a question. You asked a question. No, you asked a question. I knew you were going to come back.
Is it possible?
I knew you were going to come back. You going to let me respond or you want me to just hang up on you?
I don't give a fuck. It's up to whatever you want to do.
All
but so can you give an example and just maybe I'll understand it, maybe I won't.
The human being, in order to understand even an example of truth, has to have self-vetted, has to have arrived at some basic foundational level of understanding that is beyond the prescriptive notion that society peddles. If they have not moved past the minus 4,565 I was talking about earlier, then any example that I give will only raise more. Therefore, they're not ready to ask that question because they're not ready to understand it. And it has nothing to do with a lack of intelligence. It has to do with the conditioning being so deep, they can only hear the things that they are used to hearing. and they can only hear it in the context that they have been told it in before. Argumentative individuals have no place here.